to sports, and checks by my colleagues at Joy Sports revealed that the local sports sector may need even more than 600 million cedis to be sustained when the COVID-19 challenges go away. Currently, when it comes to football alone, Joy Sports is reporting that the financial package agreed between the Ghana Football Association and Puma, kit sponsor of the country's teams, has been reviewed downwards. The agreement, we understand, has been cut by about 30%. There's more in this report.
Persons with knowledge on the development say the decision by the German kit manufacturer to review the agreement was necessitated by the negativity that surrounded Ghana following the premiere of the number 12 investigative documentary on corruption and match fixing in June 2018. The deal agreed between the Ghana FA and Puma. There were three benefits of the contract: to supply or provide kits up to 500,000 euros per year and a financial contribution of 800,000 euros per year under the last contract. There were other benefits at major competitions like Africa Cup of Nations. At every stage, there was a benefit of about 100,000 to 200,000 euros or more, depending on the stage the team reached. If Puma spent 500,000 euros to produce kits when sold, Ghana FA earned about 8% of the sales. This agreement expired in August 2018 because Puma contracts were scheduled to expire in August of World Cup years. It will be recalled that the normalization committee renewed the contract, but Puma was not convinced to keep to the same terms. The GFA delegation, headed by President Ket Okreku, met the kit sponsors in January and made proposals for assistance on youth and infrastructure development.
And joining me to discuss this some more is Joy Sports editor Gary R. Smith. Good to have you on the program this afternoon, Gary. I bet you have seen that report yourself, to a sign of things to come.
Yes, it is a sign of things to come, Daryl. I think it's pretty prudent to note the factors which have led to the downward review of the contract from Puma. Two key reasons. The ANAS investigation, according to what we know, cast a negative shadow on Ghanaian football teams, which has translated into the low sales of our kits overall. And then secondly, the decreasing popularity of the Ghana national teams, because in the last 2-3 years, we have not been doing as well as we used to in the 4 previous years that we had a deal with Puma.
Okay, and so what's the potential impact of this downward review on the game, football?
If you've been listening to the Joy Sports bulletins in the last week, we have been discussing what the Ghana Football Association should be using their FIFA allocation that has come for the year for. Now, in the last 10 days, FIFA has said that they are releasing $500,000 as a COVID relief package to all 211 football associations who are members of the organization. So the GFA is due to get $500,000, and there has been a huge debate already as to where that money should go, whether it should go to the clubs, whether the GFA should use it to service their own debts and stuff like that. So as we speak, the GFA are cash-strapped. Also, don't forget that the GFA have been asking the government of Ghana to also consider them when giving their stimulus packages. You know, the government gave 600 million in the stimulus package that I've heard you guys speaking about on JoyNews to small and medium enterprises, and then that other 1 billion that was given in the promise from the president's speech. They are asking the government to also give them that amount. So as we speak, the GFA is seriously looking for money, and any amounts that was coming from sponsors would have been really, really helpful. Now that this money is going down, it means that the GFA need to be inventive and creative to get money from elsewhere. It's not good news.
And it's good you brought up the subject of the stimulus package, because I've been monitoring the reporting of Joy Sports, and indications that the sports industry may need even more than 600 million cedis.
Of course, the operation cost, Daryl, for the Ghana Football Association per month is in the region of, I hear, $100,000 a month. Okay, wow. That's just operational cost. Now, if you consider what's 600 million cedis in dollars these days, you can do the math.
Yeah, work out the math.
So it's not enough.
Oh, you wanted me to do that now? Okay, fine. So we are talking about football, right? But it's not just football.
Yes.
There are other, sports that are affected by COVID-19. And then we talk about the businesses in the industry that contribute to making what we see on TV, here on radio, exciting.
Yeah, I mean, if football alone thinks that 600 million from the government may even be small, then you can imagine all the other sporting disciplines, because you know that, for example, we have a very vibrant basketball regime at the high school level, which is helping a lot of kids, you know, who don't like football to be able to practice and get themselves active. The Ghana Education Service has a very rigorous physical education program that they need a lot of money to implement, especially in the public school system. You come to some of the other sports, especially like athletics and boxing, which apart from football, you could argue are the two biggest exponents for Ghana at international level. Boxing needs a lot of money to train amateur footballers, amateur boxers, for example, to get us more world champions, and they don't have money to do that. Athletics needs a lot of money to unearth talent in the villages, in the towns, and in the hamlets, and they don't have money to do that. With COVID, you can imagine that corporate Ghana will not put money there. So it's a dire time for the sporting industry as well, and we've been covering it on Joy Sports, and the look, Daryl, is not good.
Very dire times. My final question to you has to do with reopening of sports activities. I know some countries are considering reopening. Where are we at on this matter here in Ghana?
Every country that is considering an early opening of sporting activities is, one, looking at their government to lift the ban on social gatherings. Without that, you cannot, you know, effectively have your sport going on. So that's what, for example, Germany have done. Ghana will need our president and our government to do that before any of our sporting federations can even think of implementing something like that. And then two, you need your national health services to bring out figures that suggest that the rate of community infections have gone down, or the risk of contacts between people spreading infections is very low. Once we don't get those figures, I'm afraid that we cannot have that. But Darren, here's something interesting. We understand that the Ghana Golf Association has written to the Ministry of Information and the government to exempt them from the ban on social gatherings. What is their argument? Their argument is that the game of golf already, you know, engenders space between the players, and so they would not need to practice social distancing, as their sport already encourages them to do that. So it will be interesting to see if the government will do that for them.
We'll see the outcome of that, but great to have your perspective on this matter, and I'm great that you shared your perspective. Gary Ausmith, thank you so much.